Good morning, students. I welcome you all again in this new video. Students, in this video, we are going to discuss the Ampere's circuital law. This law is similar to the Gauss law in electrostatic. You have to understand this law clearly. So let us consider an open surface through which a current I is flowing. Here, I have taken a bowl. Here the surface of this bowl is open. Since this is the surface of the bowl, which is open here at this end, and here we can clearly see is that this surface has a boundary. About which boundary I am talking? I am talking about this boundary. So Ampere's law says that take a open surface and at the boundary of this open surface, let us take a length vector, which is dl vector, or you can say length element. Let the resultant magnetic field at this length element take a small portion. Suppose I am considering it from here to here. This is my small portion. I am taking this length vector or this length element. So let the B vector is the resultant magnetic field at this length element due to all currents, either they are passing through this loop or they are outside of this loop. Means we have a resultant magnetic field at this length vector which is due to the all currents, whether they are passing through this loop or they are not passing through this loop. This is a very important point. I will explain it later also. So you have taken a length vector, dl vector, and you have taken the resultant magnetic field at this length vector, which is represented by B vector. Then take a dot product. I have written it here. I have a length vector, dl vector at the boundary of the open surface, and this B vector is the resultant magnetic field at this length vector, and I have taken a dot product and then integrate it around this boundary. Integrate this B vector dot dl vector around this boundary. Then according to Ampere's law, this integral or the value of this integral will be equal to mu naught times of the current which is passing through this closed surface. Very important point. Again, what Ampere's law says that? Ampere's law says that take a length vector at the boundary of the open surface and let B vector is the resultant magnetic field due to all currents, either they are passing through the loop, either they are passing through the open surface or not, that doesn't matter, and take a dot product of both, like B vector dot dl vector, and integrate it around the boundary, around the closed boundary. So the value of this integral will be nothing but mu naught times the current passing through that open surface. Okay. If I say it in one line, then I can say that the line integral, since I am performing this integration around a closed boundary, so this will be my line integral. This is my line. You can represent here a symbol that is L. L means line integral. So the line integral of resultant magnetic field, this B is resultant magnetic field which is due to all the currents, either they are passing through the loop or not, that doesn't matter. The currents could be outside the loop, some of the currents. So the line integral of this resultant magnetic field around any closed loop. Now here I am representing that boundary with another word, that is loop. And the loop should be closed. That is very important. Loop should not be open. You cannot consider a loop like this. This is open loop. Loop should be closed like this, or you can say this. Okay. So the line integral of magnetic field around any closed loop is equal to mu naught times the current enclosed by loop. This is the statement of Ampere's law, and this is the mathematical form. So what you have to remember? You have to remember that the line integral of magnetic field, this magnetic field, or you can say resultant magnetic field around any closed loop is always equal to mu naught times the current passing through that loop. And here you have to note some points. What are those points? The first point is that here this magnetic field is the resultant magnetic field due to all the currents, whether they are passing through the loop or they are not passing through the loop. This magnetic field is resultant magnetic field. And this current is that current which is passing through the loop. And what is my loop? My loop is the boundary of the surface. And loop should be closed. So these are the points which you have to remember. I have written these points here. You can clearly see it here that first point is the magnetic field on the left hand side is the resultant field due to all the currents existing anywhere. Okay. In some cases, some of the currents should be outside of the loop. Like here in this diagram, I have made a loop like this, in which I have taken a small length vector, that is dl vector, which is in this direction, which is in clockwise direction. There are some currents which are passing through the loop, and there are some currents which are not passing through the loop. So the magnetic field at this dl vector, that is the resultant magnetic field, that is B vector, will be due to the all currents, whether they are going into the loop or not. Okay, that is the first point. Second point is always take those currents which are enclosed by the loop. So in right hand side, this I current is only those currents which are enclosed or which are passing through the loop. You have to take only those currents, not those currents which are outside the loop. That is the another important point. And the last point is here B dot last point. Let me explain it here. So here you can clearly see that there are I1, I2 and I3, these three currents which are passing through the loop. Here cross is denoting the direction of the current. Cross means the current is going into the page, and dot means the current is coming out of the page. So these two currents are going into the page like this, and this current is coming out of the page, and some currents are outside of this loop. So here in the right hand side, I net means those currents which are passing through the loop. So here only three currents are passing through the loop. So I will take only these three currents into consideration in the right hand side. So I have taken only these three currents. Now here this sign convention is very important. If you have chosen your dl vector in the clockwise direction, which is like here you have chosen your dl vector in the clockwise direction, then you will curl your fingers in the direction of dl vector. So dl vector is like this in clockwise direction. So your thumb is going into the page. So the currents which are going into the page will be considered as positive. So here I1 and I3 are going into the page because they are denoted by a cross. So these two currents will be taken positive. And this I2 is coming out of the page. So this is the negative direction. So this current will be considered as negative. So this is our sign convention. Okay. If you choose the direction of your dl vector in anti-clockwise direction, then my thumb is coming out of the page. So then at that time this current will become positive and these two will be taken as negative. So students, Ampere's law is a very important law. Further, some of the derivations we will do based on the Ampere's law. So revise it. That is all about for today. Thanks for